Hi everyone, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and today I'm bringing to you my next design team layout from Scrapasketch at www.scrapasketch.com, and I'm on the Facebook page, and this is Weekly Sketch 109. This is a great sketch from Lisa using 2 photos, and this is the page that I've created and I'm going to walk you through now. It's of my daughter when we went on our cruise. These are my photos, and I'm actually using the newest printables from Scrapasketch, the neutrals in the hearts and the stars, the neutral cameras, and I'm going to use the greys on my layout. I'm actually also mixing these with the Easter time flowers, because the flowers down the bottom are going to become my clusters, and the happy spring ones, and these are our brand new products over on www.scrapasketch.com. Alright, I've chosen this grey mixed media background with this lovely pink wood. I love anything that is wood grain, and this layout I'm using that for my base. This time I'm just using the plain cardstock in a grey and a pink, and they're just going to be used for my mounting of my photos for this layout. This wooden one is what I'm going to use as my base to highlight the prettiness in the photos. And I'm using this lovely grey and pink paper. It's a uniquely creative paper here. And what I've done is I've reduced it down to 10.5 by 10.5, so it's going to be the centre of my page. And I'm folding back the corners as outlined by the sketch. And I stick pretty closely to this sketch. I like how it evolves. On the back of this great paper from Scrapbook Fantasies in the pink wood grain, there's some good pictures which I'm going to use for fussy cutting because I like the butterflies. So that's why I've marked where the folded paper is going to fit so that I can cut it out and utilise the centre of the page. There's the butterflies that I use on this page, but I also like some of the books that are there that I'm going to use on another page. There was actually quite a lot of good elements on that page, and I have got a second for it. All right, so there I've taken out the middle of it, and I'm putting that to the side, and I'm bringing back in my folded piece. And, of course, you can see I've got it upside down, so I just turn it around so that it fits properly, and that's how it aligns on the page. Once again, I said I have followed the sketch pretty closely, and I keep close to this sketch because it's a very workable sketch. And it has lots of possibilities, which I like a folded corner, and I often forget to use it. So I'm now going to use this double-sided tape to fasten it into place. And like I said, I use Express-It tape. It's very good. It's nice and very strong with its stick, and it makes life a lot easier. I'm putting it down and laying it down, making sure that all of the edges are flat. Now I have these 2 great photos from the cruise, and this was a special night. I'd taken my daughter on a cruise. We were supposed to go for her Year 12 graduation, but with COVID and things like that, it got put off for a while. So we finally managed to get on there last November, and in the dining hall, our waiters were very super attentive to my daughter, and Kamang, who's this one here, he on this night made her this special rose and heart out of the serviettes, which has found its way home in a suitcase and held a meaning for her, because they also threw her a happy graduation party from her high school. So it was a special night for her, and these photos capture that. All right, so I've now placed them in, and you saw that I popped one of the photos up just to give it dimension, and I'm now sealing down those corners while I work the flower clusters that I've fussily cut out of Lisa's great printables that you can purchase on www.scrapasketch.com. And if you use my code KathyLovesToScrap10, you'll get 10% off at checkout when you purchase these great printables, and you can use them anywhere. I'm going to build the flower clusters here. I lay these ones down flat in the corners because they're the underneath, and then I pop up the next layer so that it adds dimension and depth to the image. And as you know, I like the lumpy bumpy effect on the layout. It gives it a touchy-feely, a little bit more interest, and the shadows create a nice effect on the page. And I use the same again, Express It pop tape, because I find it that much more versatile and easier to manipulate my pieces with the tape on it. And I'm really sorry that I've taken so long to get this loaded. But here you can see how I'm building the clusters slowly into the corners as the sketch outlines. And I'm using this camera from the new neutral cameras. I really do love the cameras from Lisa's ranges. They're very versatile and a great accompaniment to a page. I have also got this great heading. It's called Moments to Remember, and I'm going to colour it with some spray stain, and it's the weathered paint, peeled paint distress paint from Tim Holtz, and I just spray it here on, well, this is a puppy mat, and it's great for soaking up that extra bit of colour that just goes everywhere. It just goes in the puppy mat, and it's, as you can see, it's a great mixed media mat to do your work on. Now that it's dried, I've fussy cut out those butterflies I told you about that were on the back of the pink wood grain, and I'm placing in the title, Moments to Remember. And I use tacky glue to hold that in place. This is really, really light balsa wood, and it's been laser cut by a company. It's very good to use. I think that's uniquely creative as well. I'm going to now put on the last finishing touches, which are some hearts from, like I said, the Hearts and Stars neutrals. And I'm going to pop up those butterflies just to add a little bit of extra touch to it. Building up the corners, adding the butterflies and the hearts, making sure that I cover each and allow the eye to roam across the page. And I really do like those butterflies because they're a little bit deeper in colour than the printables, so it is a nice accompaniment and gives a bit of a richer texture to the page. I'm not quite happy with the clusters, so what I've done is I'm using the strip left over from the trimmed page, and I'm cutting out some leaves just to build up the foliage behind the cluster, just to give it a bit more of a depth and filling in the page. You know my old saying, let's do more until we're happy. So if you're not happy, just add more. And then the clusters get built in and they fill out and they actually look fuller on the page when it's final. I'm going to now put in my journaling across here, and it's just about Kamang and his serviette creativity for Lily and how excited she was that he gave her that for her to keep, and she was very, very excited. On our cruise, they were amazing, the waiters. They were so attentive, very, very good, and they really did hang around our table quite a lot. Also now using a gel pen, which I'm using to put in some faux stitching around the edge just to finish it and lift the mat off the page. It's just a little trick, little doodling as a faux stitch. It looks like it's got a running stitch across the edge of the page, and that's a nice way to frame what you have in the centre and lift it off that wood grain so it gives a little bit more detail. Not overpowering, not in too much depth, but just that little bit extra to give it a bit of a lift. And I often use faux stitching as a way of adding that final detail or finishing off to the page. So you quickly move that down the page, and it's just a dash, 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 and that's easy to achieve. I'm adding in the date because that's important, because when you look back in the future you want to know the date. And of course I use Nuvo dots, and you know I love Nuvo drops. I don't know what I'm going to do when I use up all these pearl ones. I hopefully can get another bottle. That's one of my most favourite colours of those Nuvo dots. So there's my page that I created. Using the sketch, I have stayed pretty close. I've built the cluster up, and you can see how those leaves have added to that cluster. I've put in behind, I tucked them in behind to build it, and that's the sketch by Lisa, sketch 109, the weekly Friday sketch at the Facebook page. Scrapasketch. Come and join us and see how you can turn this sketch into a layout that looks amazing, and you can see adds to my cruise album, but also was fairly easy to pull together, but very effective as a final product. So once again, I thank you for watching. If you stayed all the way through, thank you very much. Remember, we can go to www.scrapasketch.com, use my code KathyLovesToScrap10 when you're at checkout, and you'll receive 10% off. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and once again, I thank you. If something inspired, give me a like, and hopefully you'll subscribe if you aren't already doing so. See you next time.